All right. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another stream. And as you can see, we are on the PC setup right now. Got the background behind me. It's been a long time since we've been in this setup, so welcome back. And as you can see, we're doing a Just Chatting, another reaction stream. As you can see, we changed up a little bit because normally we are in this big bot screen right here. It's just me on the camera doing a little introduction to stream, what we're going to be talking about today. And then we go into like the typical overlay where it's like a lot smaller webcam. You can see the chat and everything, and then a smaller window for the reaction. But I'm like, you know what? I want to switch things up a little bit. We've been going to that setup a little bit for a long time, and I do like that setup. Don't get me wrong, but I do want to switch it up because I'm someone that gets bored at seeing the same thing over and over and over again. Like, that's kind of one of the reasons why when once upon a time when we were doing these PlayStation streams, and we still do them, of course, we just did one late last night, got it uploaded on the YouTube channel and also on Twitch right now, shameless plug out the way, sharing the thoughts on Deadpool 3 with Deadpool Wolverine, sharing a review on that. So that was a very fun stream, so definitely tune into that and subscribe, follow, do all the post notifications, do all the stuff that every YouTuber and Twitch streamer says, at least trying to make this off a living. But like I was saying earlier, like I'm just someone who gets bored of doing the same thing over and over and over again. I like to switch things up. That's why in the PlayStation stream, like we've had this setup where it was just the gameplay and the webcam, and then later on there was like the webcam but a little like green overlay of like my name and like my socials and everything, and then it turned into the blue effect and everything with the flames and everything, and then we changed the same thing but the same flames, but we changed like the purple color, and then we did the PC setup where we have this background, they have the PlayStation with the Naruto red background. It's like, as you can see, we changed stuff up a lot, but that's not the point of the stream. The point of the stream, as you can see by the title, is we are about a month away from NBA 2K25, which sounds crazy to me. That we are a month away from NBA 2K25, and we know very little. The most we have is the trailers. A trailer got released, but I can't even call it a trailer. It's more of like a commercial with Jason Tatum because he's the cover athlete. And then we learned about like how much the pre-orders are going to cost. And guess what? They are like $70 to like $100 something dollars. Shocker, 2K wants to make their money. So that's all we know. A month before we are supposed to pre-order this game, get excited for it, be ready on standby 11:59 p.m. on the first weekend of September, and we know nothing. So that's what this stream is all about. Since we know absolutely nothing, I feel like it's a perfect opportunity to share my NBA 2K25 wish list. Some things I would love to see in the game, things I think that should be added, things that I think should be changed or modified, or things that are currently in the game that I feel like should be completely gone and removed. So it's a long list, so grab your popcorn, whatever you gotta do, because we're gonna be chilling here for a while, and this is gonna be a chill time. So also let me know what your thoughts, if you agree with the stuff that I say, you disagree, and you call me a coward, a bitch, or skill issue, whatever, it's fine, I can take it. But just preface this, I am a long-time 2K fan. I've been playing 2K games every year since 2K11. I've been getting them on launch since 2K11. So I have 2K11, 2K13, because I skipped 2K12 because 2K11 is the GOAT. 2K14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and now we're at 25. So I've been at this 2K running for a long time. I'm an unk. I'm an old man at this point. At some point, I, like LeBron, am going to have to retire from this game at some point. But we're just all about that longevity, I guess. So we have a list here of stuff that I want to share because I want to share my thoughts, my wish list, and I also want to have my thoughts in a clear manner because otherwise it's going to be mind rambling, mumbo jumbo and everything. And I'll say a point, but then I won't really know what to talk about at that point, or there will be stuff that I, turn the camera off. I'm like, oh, damn, there's 3 things I forgot to mention, and there's stuff that I really want to do. So I've put this wish list together for a couple hours just trying to pull in my thoughts of like, what is stuff that I want to see? So without further ado, what is some stuff that I want to see in 2K25? And I guess also in future installments, what have you. So, little disclaimer first. As always, whenever I do these wish lists, I've been doing wish lists for the last couple of years. So I always start with this preface. I am not doing the wish list to talk about improving the servers or making the microtransactions VC prices better. There is no point for that. Businesses are in business to make money, and the servers are going to be ass, especially on launch, no matter what. Like, there's no reason to put server, fixes as a wishlist item that's legitimate because, once again, servers and 2K games have been bad for as long as I can remember. So, if it's been over a decade and they haven't fixed it, then why do you think in 2K25 they'll finally be able to fix it? Same thing with VC prices. It is now more expensive to upgrade a player and buy a player than it's ever been, and that's not changing. 2K will always make the next installment more expensive than the previous game to upgrade a player because they know that's where they get the most of their money, so why would they stop? Businesses are in business to make money, so that's not going to stop. So that's a disclaimer. So the first real thing I have on my wish list is, to me, it's the most important, even though it's really in no particular order, but this is the first most important one, at least to me. Make attributes matter on your build. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is I should never hear, like, this attribute doesn't matter when going through the builder, or you only got to upgrade this attribute to like 75 or 80 or 85, and then that's like the meta, that's the good, you don't need to go any further. Going any further is just waste attributes you can just put elsewhere. I should never hear those words come out of a 2K player. Whether you're a rookie or veteran, I should never hear those words. Instead, logically, it should be the higher you go for the attribute, the better you are. A 99 should feel useful, and it should feel like you have a 99. Right? Like, for instance, what I mean by that. The most meta dribble move in 2K24, or at least the common one that everyone does or spams at the very least, is the Jamal Murray behind the back. That's one that everyone used. It was the most broken, most overpowered move. Everyone used it. It was the meta. All you needed was an 83 ball handle. And speed with ball is an attribute that was completely useless. So people just kept on 25 because there's no reason to upgrade it. So people had the meta dribble move, and all you need was an 83. That should not happen. The best animations should be at the 99 cap. And not only that, but you should feel it. Because that's the biggest problem, I feel, when it comes to the builder. Is the best animations, the best attributes, the meta builds, demigods out there, are made because the builder is flawed, right? You only need to put a certain attribute up to this category. You can ignore these 2-3 categories. And because you ignore those categories, you can put those attributes that you would have spent in those otherwise ignored categories into something else to make your guy a demigod, right? Because in previous 2Ks, for instance, in 2K23, the years honestly just mix all together, but Quick Drops Off, yeah, it was 2K23. Quick Drops Off 1 was the most broken, overpowered dunk package I've probably ever seen in any 2K game in my life. And all you needed was an 80. So what did people do? They went to the builder, brought the driving dunk up to an 80, and they moved on with their day. That allowed them to make a 99 steal or 99 perimeter defense or 99 3 ball or whatever have you, and have the most broken dunk package in the game because that's all you needed. That should not happen. If we want a clear, defined builder, the best attributes and animations, and you should feel them, should be at the 99, 98, 97, 96 attributes. The best stuff should not be at, oh, you only need an 80 or 75 or what have you. That's not how it should be. That's not my ideal 2K, right? So that's the first thing. Make attributes matter. So I guess that's also a transition into making the attributes matter. This is another thing that has always frustrated me about the builder, especially on launch leading up to the new 2K. Something that's always frustrated me ever since we lost the ability to do the prelude and make the builder like a month before the game came out is I don't know what attributes are good, what attributes you need to upgrade, and what attributes are useless and you don't need to upgrade, right? Because take me for example. My first build every 2K since 2K 13, every year, my first build has always been on launch a big man, especially an interior big man, but big man nonetheless, has always been a big man. An attribute like strength for a big man sounds very, very, very important. Some years, it matters a lot. It benefits you to upgrade your strength. In other years, strength is pretty useless. Like, you don't know the difference between a 99 strength and a 70 strength. There's really no difference. So if I, mistakenly upgrade my strength to 99 and all you needed was a 70, well, I just wasted all those attributes that could have gone elsewhere because I didn't know you just needed a 70. I made the strength high because I'm a big, and bigs kind of need strength to be able to be effective. So it's not my fault on that. And on the flip side, another attribute that was pretty useless this year was, especially for a big, was interior defense. Interior defense, once again, sounds like a very, very important attribute for a big man, especially my playstyle, to upgrade to the maximum because I'm a big, I play in the interior. However, everyone just upgrade the interior defense to either 71 or 72. I want to say it was 72. And they just left it at that. And they moved on and they focused on attributes because all you needed was 72 to be able to unlock Anchor on bronze or silver. And that was it. That's all people did. That should not happen. So, what is the next thing in the builder that I have? So, that's number one. Make the attributes matter. If I upgrade something to a 99, I should feel it. I should feel rewarded by it because the best animations are being given at 99 attribute ratings. Like, for instance, the best shooting animations should be unlocked at 99 or 98 or minimum if we're pushing at 97 mid-range and three-point rating. Not like Patty Mills is a great jump shot in 2K24 and it's not tied to attributes. It's tied to your rep. That's how you get the really good jump shot, which that's not how it should be. So the next thing on the list, moving past attributes, but also kind of connecting it, is making the builder easier and more diverse. Which we kind of talked about this a little bit already with the attributes where you realize you only need to have a 80 quick drops off one or 71 or 72 interior defense, and that allows you to put the attributes elsewhere, which causes everyone to make these do-it-all demigod builds, and the game just gets stale, the game gets boring because everyone makes the same build and everyone has the same animations, the same badges, and everyone plays the same way, and that gets very boring. Right? Like, here's a little history lesson for you. This is not how the 2K My Player Builder system has always been, right? Because I remember back then in the 2K14, 15, 16, 17 days, and maybe this is just me with, rose-tinted glasses, but I remember that builder being fun, being diverse. People ran around with a bunch of different builds out there. All those builds are winnable. The game was fun. The game was competitive. The game was not as toxic. And the builder was simple. It was very, very, very hard to mess up on a build. Because back then, the builder was this: position, height, weight, wingspan. Are you, like, for instance, if you're big, is your playstyle the inside, outside, or balanced? And that was it. That was the builder. There was no attributes. There was no pie charts. There was no, seeing the badges of what attributes you unlock. With, oh, if I upgrade my speed at 2, I get this badge unlocked at gold. Like, none of that's not how it was. It was just position, height, weight, playstyle balanced, inside or outside, and that was it. And it was amazing. It was so balanced. It was so simple because there was less of an opportunity for you to fuck up on something because it just made it so simple for you, right? And allowed so many people to make so many different builds and to play so many different ways. Like, think about the meta for this game. Everyone ran around with a 6'8" lockdown, right? Everyone just spammed the Jamal Murray behind the back like we just previously talked about. Everyone, upgraded their mid-range as opposed to their three-point shooting because mid-range was technically easier to upgrade the mid-range when it came to shooting because it was a lot cheaper to upgrade your mid-range instead of your three-point shooting. So if you upgrade the mid-range, you were able to have way more attributes available to you, and you still unlock the same badges as you were have your three-pointer. So that's just what people did. And everyone played the same way. And it gets boring, right? Think of one of the reasons why people like 2K19 so much. People like 2K19 because of the diverse builds out there, and people play different ways. There was lockdowns, there was stretch bigs, there was two-way slashing playmakers, there was playmaking sharps, there was pure on playmakers, pure on lockdowns, rebound and wings, I think, were a thing that year. Like, so many people had so many different builds, and so many people ran with different styles, different lineups. It made it fun and competitive, where whenever you played the Rec, or played Pro-Am, or played Park, whenever you match up against someone online, and you saw a different lineup, you're like, okay, this is going to be the lineup we're running. It's different. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see how the game's going to go, because instead of playing against the same people doing the same thing over again, we now have to adjust our play style because we're playing against someone different, which that made it more lively. That made it more fun, right? No one likes playing the same thing over and over again year round. People like variety. At least I do. At least, once again, this is my ideal 2K. You can disagree or agree with me all you want. Once again, no offense taken if you agree or disagree with whatever I'm saying. So, make the builder easier. We got that one done. Next thing. The next thing on the wish list is I want better matchmaking in online modes. This means Park. This means Pro-Am. This means Rec, as you're seeing right here. But I'm more specifically talking about Pro-Am and Rec. Right? Park, I don't really touch that much. I guess also I don't really touch Pro-Am that much. But Rec and Pro-Am kind of go hand in hand of what I'm trying to say. And my ideal 2K, this is what I want. Rec is unranked, online, and Pro-Am is ranked. That is what I want. I want Rec to be the unranked, casual mode where you just, hop on with your friends for like an hour or two, and you just, have a good time. No, sure, you're also trying to win, of course, but it's not as toxic. It's not as competitive. You're not trying to win as much. You're just hopping on with your boys and just having a good time. You're just chilling, right? And then Pro-Am is the serious competition. Pro-Am is a time where you guys got to, full on, have a squad, have a team, and you got to lock in, and it actually benefits to win, and you don't want to lose because it's ranked. And I know a lot of people hate the whole, ranked versus unranked, I guess, mentality system, however you want to call it. I know people hate the whole ranked, unranked system because people hear the word ranked and they get scared because, oh my God, I don't want to play ranked because I don't want to play against, sweats who play the game for 24 hours a day when I just play for 2 hours a day, if that. And that is not what ranked is. If you're playing ranked, you're not playing against the, wannabe pro players who, are sweating on the game all day for 24 hours. That is not what ranked is. If you're at that level, of course, that's who you're going to be playing. But then again, I don't know why you'd be scared of those people. But that's not what ranked is. What ranked is it's similar to skill-based matchmaking, where it will take your skill level, it will take your skill, I assume your win percentage will be taken account, and it's seeing how you play as a player, taking your average teammate grade, your stats. It'll see how you play, and it'll match you up against people with your similar skill level and play style, right? So, like, if I'm trying to think of a, easier way to put this. Let's say there's, multiple hierarchy tiers of ranked in 2K. There's bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and platinum. I feel like that's the easiest way to put it because that's the most universal rank system out there. Sure, there's other badges and ranks, when people make up their own stuff, but, bronze, silver, gold, diamond, platinum, that's the pretty universal. I feel like everyone understands. So if your ranking is bronze, you're not playing ranked against people who are in the diamond or platinum tier. You're playing against people who are in the bronze tier. Or maybe if you play well enough in the bronze tier, maybe you jump up to the silver tier and you start playing against silver players. Or maybe you eventually get to a gold player at one point or another. But you're not playing against diamond and platinum players as a bronze player. That's something that people need to understand when it comes to the whole ranked, unranked system. Right? Because trust me, I also don't want to play against people who, play the game for 24 hours a day and have no life and just live on the game all day. I don't want to do that. That is not fun. But that's not what ranked, unranked is. Ranked is just playing against people of your similar skill level, which makes it competitive. You're playing against people that plays this game about as good as you, and you're also wanting to win because there is pros and incentives to winning, and there's also cons and negatives if you lose, right? So that's the next thing. So that's also a disclaimer out there how, people don't know what the whole ranked, unranked system is. So I hope that I made it clear what it is, right? So don't get scared when you hear ranked, unranked. Oh my God, 2K is ranked, unranked. We're playing against tryhards. No. That's not what it is at all, right? The only reason you'll be playing against diamond, platinum players in ranked 2K is guess what? You're also a diamond level player. And if that's the case, then why are you scared? All right, so this is a quick one, but I feel like it has to be said. This also goes hand in hand with the whole rec system. I've said this on previous streams, but I strongly, I cannot preface this enough. Strongly request 2K, if you're listening, which I highly doubt, but please, if you are, somehow, please have a report and kick system when playing in online modes. This goes for rec, this goes for park, this goes for pro-am, this goes for rec, this goes for everything, and rec. Have the option to kick people and report people in rec. Most importantly, because the amount of times that I've lost games because the random teammate, didn't get his, ego massage enough because he didn't get the ball enough, he didn't get to shoot that much, and the amount of times we would lose games and he would cause the guy to drop 70 points and we would lose the game when it's not even our fault and it would go down on my record as a loss is mind-boggling, the amount of times we lose games because of that. And they do it because there's no punishment, right? There's no kick system. There's no report system. There's no consequence to their toxic behavior. So that's why people do it. And that's why anytime you play against randoms in the rec, you're so used to seeing it because there's no consequence if you get caught or you do it. Right? People feel safe selling you and ruin your games and making you lose and, causing all these turnovers and staying 3 seconds of pain or staying out of bounds or anything. People feel so comfortable doing that because there's no consequence for them doing it. There needs to be a vote to kick system, right? And I know it sounds bad, the whole vote to kick system, because the 2K community is toxic. And trust me, I'm not saying it isn't. It is extremely toxic. Unfortunately, this is not how the 2K community has been. It's just toxic now, which who knows why. But when it comes to the 2K community, not only have a vote to kick system, but yeah, make it a vote. I'm not advocating where, have a kick system where, anyone on your team can just press a button and you just get kicked from the game and you don't have, any say in it whatsoever. You're just playing into really, you're back to the menu and you're kicked. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Have a vote to kick system. Just be able to press the pause menu and you're able to, hit, edits to look at a user profile. You're able to hit, I want to say, triangle to, call a, let's see, you hit triangle. I can't remember. But you know what I mean. There's all the buttons at the scoreboard. Just have a button where you can just hit vote to kick. A little menu will appear in the top right corner and it'll say, this person has been, voted to kick and everything. It'll say 1 to 5. So, if 3 people vote to kick that person, then that person, guess what, is kicked. And the vote will be so simple where it's press left on the D-pad to vote yes to kick that person, and to vote no, press right on the D-pad to vote no. Just a little menu in the top corner, make it simple. And if 3 people of the 5 say vote yes to kick them, then guess what? They're kicked. Right? That's what should happen. It's such a simple request, but unfortunately, 2K doesn't have it. I don't know why. I legitimately, to this day, do not understand why. In an online game, there is not the ability to kick someone in an online game, especially report them. Blows my mind. Every other online game in existence has a vote to kick system in a team setting online. 2K doesn't have it. I don't know why. So, once again, that's a quick one, but just please, 2K, just put in a vote to kick system. It saves so many people and saves so much people's mentality, right? That a lot of the toxicity will be gone if you just have that feature. I promise you. Because people think twice about wanting to sell you and cause all these turnovers and flopping and causing 3 seconds of pain and everything. People think twice if they realize, damn, I can just get kicked right now and all they did was just press a button. As of now, there's nothing. There's no consequence. The only reason people that sell you doing that stuff are able to leave is because either they quit themselves, which let's face it, that's not happening, or their teammate grade goes down, but they are fully aware their teammate grade gets low. So what they do is they get to a C- or D tier in the grade scale, and then they just won't sell you. They'll pause for a few minutes and allow their teammate grade to go back up to a C+, and then they'll start selling you again. That's what they do because there's no consequence. They don't want to get kicked from their low teammate grade. So it makes no sense. That 2K automatically kicks you for poor teammate grade, for poor play, with the fairness of others, right? Your teammate grade is lower enough. Fairness of others, they kick you automatically. But yeah, let's also not have fairness to others and give the ability to actually kick people yourself. That's not fair, apparently. So let's see. What is the next one? I mean, this isn't like a gameplay feature, but I feel like this also needs to be said. I'm also reading chat as well. Let me also move this because I don't think we want to see the blue. Yeah. Okay. Pause for a second. Okay, we're good. So, what was it? Oh, yeah. Sorry about the apology for pause for a second, but we're back at it. So, as I was saying, this isn't a gameplay feature, so say, but I feel like this also needs to be said. And this more just comes down to the development side of things. It is frustrating to me that 2K still keeps the PS4 and Xbox One games alive. Right? 2K25, you pre-order right now, you get the PS5 Xbox Series X version of the game, right? You also get the PS4 Xbox One version of the game, and that comes in every bundle. No matter what bundle you choose, you get the previous last gen version, old gen version of the game. For some reason, like, they are still keeping those systems alive, and I don't know why. Like, it is a way more of a detriment for them to do that, right? And I feel like more people need to realize and wake up when it comes to this. People need to realize that 2K keeping the PS4 and Xbox One games alive, and they keep putting development hours into those games, and people are still going to buy this game on launch. I feel like people need to realize that is actually a negative, and it's one of the biggest issues why 2K is the way that is, and it's not good. Because, let me break it down in basic nursery rhymes for a second. 2K has a studio, right? One development team. Obviously, you have multiple, development teams, but let me break it down in basic nursery rhymes. 2K, studio in California, one development team, right? One development team. They release a 2K game every year, right? So, what do you think they do? Do they put all their energy, all their time into the PS5 Xbox Series X version of the game? But what about that PS4 and Xbox One series version of the game? Right? What about those? We can't forget about those. So what do you think they do with one development team when they have to have the same release date at the same time? They split up the development teams. Instead of the whole 2K development team working on one game, instead, they split the team up. So instead of the full team working on the PS5 and Xbox Series X version of the game for this new launch, it's half the development team. The other half is working on the PS4 and Xbox One version of the game. Why? Why are you doing that? What is the point? What is the benefit of doing that? Because we're in the year 2024. It's also halfway to 2025, which sounds crazy. We are gone are the days of the pandemic, gone are the days of, scalpers and it being impossible with restocks to get a PS5 or Xbox One Series X. Gone are those days, right? You don't have to worry about scalpers anymore. You don't have to worry about restock alerts at this point. People aren't selling PS5s at $2,000 anymore. Those days are gone. So if you don't have those consoles at this point, it's kind of a you problem, right? It's kind of a you problem at this point because there's no excuses. You can go to Walmart, you can go to Target, you can go to GameStop, you can go to Best Buy, you can go any of those places, walk in, pick out a PS5 from the shelf, walk to the register, buy it, and walk out. Back in the 2020, 2021 days, yes, you couldn't do that. I had to get my PS5 off a restock, which sucked because scalpers were a thing. It's now been several years and those things don't exist anymore. So, at this point, either buy a PS5 Xbox Series X or don't. I mean, we're halfway through the PS5 Xbox cycle where at some point, and that's like 3-4 years, we're going to begin the PS6. And you're telling me you're still walking around with the PS4? Right? That's what I'm saying. Imagine 2K puts their full development team into their 2K game. Imagine. Right? This is one of the biggest reasons, and once again, this is why more people need to realize this, and it's not just me saying it, but I feel like it's not getting talked about enough. More people need to realize this. The reason why 2K comes out so broken, so glitchy, the servers aren't good and everything, there's so many issues, the builder's not the best, there's all these broken mechanics, broken systems. It's because they got half the work into it. It's because half the team worked on it, because the other half was working on a product that never sees the light of day by anybody, because who buys the PS4 version at this point? Who does? Apparently some people do because 2K still offers it. 2K still puts time into it for some reason. And that's not how it should be. Right? Like, let it die. Let the PS4 die. Let the original Xbox One die. Because those consoles are very, very outdated at this point. Right? One of the reasons why I like College Football 25 so much is because it's only exclusively on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. There is no PS4 and original Xbox One version of the game. There isn't. And guess what? EA, as many, flax, as much shit we talk about EA and everything, which it also does deservedly so, as much slack as we give EA for being a poor development team, they were able to put all their energy and time into one product, into one port of the game, and guess what? People love College Football 25. It's crazy. When you put your full energy and time into something, and look what happens. It comes out way more polished than you half-assing and half-attention something. It's crazy. And I feel like more people need to be talking about it. So that's the next thing. Let the old consoles die. Right? This is more of a message for 2K. And yeah, if you don't have these consoles at this point, then once again, what are you doing? So only develop one version of the game. That just saves a lot of headaches and just makes the game come out way more polished. So that's more of a letter to 2K rather than viewers. But we move. I just feel like if we're doing a wish list, I feel like it just needs to be said that 2K, stop developing a game that nobody plays. You're wasting your energy and time into something that has no benefit. It only brings in negatives. So, what is the next thing? The next thing on the list is, once again, this is another thing that I've said before, similar to the whole vote to kick system in Rec. This is another thing I've been very vocal about in 2K24. So, apologies I'm repeating myself. But I do not like the green or miss system in this game. And I feel like it should not exist. In its context. Like, as a whole, I like the idea of green or miss. However, I feel like it needs to be placed in the right spot. Right? Like, for instance, if we take what I said earlier about the whole ranked, unranked system, yes, 100%. You're playing ranked, 100% it should be green or miss. Fully tied to skill. It's the time where skill needs to be rewarded. It's a time where you need to play well because you're trying to win. 100% green or miss needs to be in ranked. However, if rec is the casual, unranked mode, it should not be green or miss. Especially if you are a player who has a very high 80 or high 90 shooting attributes. It should especially not be green or miss for you, especially in casual, unranked. That should not happen. Right? And it's like, oh, well, you just want them to make everything. It's like, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying you need to be shooting 100% and make every single shot. That's not what I'm saying at all. In my eyes, if you have a 90 plus 3-point shot, I think there should be times where if you have a full bar white, at times, I feel like that shot should go in. If you have a 90 plus 3-point shot, those shots should go in at times. I'm not saying every time, so don't sue me. Sometimes full whites should go in if you have a high 90s shot. I'm not saying half bars. I'm not saying, shoot very early or, just hold down the shoot button and it should go in. That's not what I'm saying at all. You still have to time it decently well. But in casual, there should be way less stakes. There should be way less emphasis on it. Now, if there is no ranked or unranked system, I still feel like there should be a revamp of the green or miss system. And instead of being tied to ranked, unranked, I think it should be tied to attribute. So what I was saying before, how if you have a 90 plus 3-point shot, there should be times where if you have a full bar white, it should go in. I'm not saying every time it should go in, but sometimes it should go in. On the flip side, if you have a 65 3-point shot, 100%, that should be green or miss. You should have way less leeway, way less of a buffer, way less give in a low rating, right? Where you have to be way more accurate, you have to be way more perfect on point because you have way less of a buffer. Because that's how attributes should feel. They should feel like a buffer. If you have a 90 plus in something, that should be the game helping you out. Yes, there should still be some skill involved, but the game should also be helping you out because you have a high attribute. On the flip side, if you have a low skill, a low attribute, it should be 100% tied to user timing and skill, because then that's not the game holding your hand or anything. Instead, how you play is how you play, right? If you have a 25 perimeter defense, the game should not help you on the perimeter. You should be getting cooked on the perimeter every single time because, if you play bad defense and you have a 25 perimeter defense, well, good luck, right? But on the flip side, if you feel like you're not that great of a defender on the perimeter and you have a 90, perimeter defense, there should be some help. I'm not saying all the help in the world, but I'm also saying have no help if your rating is low enough. That is what I'm saying. Because as it stands right now, I want to say 2 builds that have a 90 plus mid-range and 3-point shot. All the golden Hall of Fame badges in the world. And it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it. And the flip side, my build with like a 75 3-point rating feels the exact same. I shoot the same percentage as them, even though the rating is way lower. Hello, that was a bad shot by me. Funny they were talking about shots for a second. But whether I'm playing on my guy that has a 75 3-ball or a 95 3-ball, I feel no difference. I shoot the same percentage, and that's not how it should be. If I have the way higher attribute, I should feel it. That should go in. High rating, high attribute, and it was a good time shot. That should go in. Shouldn't have to green it. But I know this guy is a 90-something mid-range. But does that make sense? Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? That there's a place for green or miss. Either ranked, unranked, where green or miss is in ranked, where it's very, very important to have user timing skill involved where you're trying to win, right? So there's a place for a green or miss. Or, see, that could have gone in. It was a decently timed shot. We were open. We have a 90-plus three-point shot. That should maybe go in. I'm not saying guaranteed go in, but maybe possibly go in. See, that shouldn't go in because I was covered there. This shot, there's some coverage. That one definitely shouldn't go in. Pause the commentator for a second and watch me play. Like a year ago. So ranked, unranked, green or miss should be a thing. If that is what 2K decides to do. Or if your attribute is high enough, it should feel like the game is helping you out if your attribute is high enough. Where if you have a 99 3 ball, it should feel like it should be built into the code and built in the game that is easier to shoot at a higher percentage than otherwise. That's how it should be. And it's, oh, well, you don't want to reward skill and everything. It's like, no, I'm not saying that. You should still have skill and user time and everything. I'm not saying I'm not saying you should make everything. But what I'm saying is that there's other attributes out there that it feels like when you have a 90-plus attribute rating, it feels like it. But for some reason when it comes to shooting, there's so much pullback. See, that should go in. There's so much pullback when it comes to shooting for some reason. If you have a high rating, you also need to play perfectly, which is weird, right? Because, for instance, on my Wilt build, I have a 99 offensive rebound. And, chat, you've seen the previous streams. You've seen me get 20, 30 rebounds on average in games, right? And I feel like I am pretty effective when it comes to getting rebounds because I have the badges and a high attribute. But on the flip side, when it comes to shooting, you bring a build with a 95 3 ball, doesn't really feel like it. Just saying. See, that one wasn't timed the best. If I timed it a little bit better and full barred it, then it should have maybe gone in because the coverage was wide open and I have the rating to prove it. There was some coverage because of the screen, and I have no defense. Let's see, what else to talk about? I feel like we're getting to the end of the list, which is crazy. So what else to talk about on the list? I would say this is a small one. I mean, don't you love how I say it's going to be a small one, but then we talk about it for like next 15 minutes? It's like, not that small. That's what she said. I'm sorry. It was, the opportunity was there, and I just had to. Right? Because if I didn't do it, I know someone in chat or my YouTube comments would have said it like, damn, there was the opportunity and I wasted it. Just like I had that wide open shot and I wasted it. But the whole Battle Pass system, I'm still iffy on. There's some things that I like about it. There's some things that I'm just like, I feel like it's more of a negative review than a positive review to me. Because my biggest issue with the Battle Pass system is it feels like 2K is allowed to, skedaddle their feet and, do whatever they want. So that should go in. Good time shot, wide open, and it was a decently timed. That should have gone in, right? But unfortunately not, because it's a green or miss. Because what I mean by that is, it allows 2K to just, make shit up as they go along and basically do whatever they want when it comes to, the battle pass. Like, oh, you didn't like this, like, level 40 reward, right? Because I want to say, like, one of the level 40 rewards wasn't it like you had like a outfit of Santa or something like that? Like, level 40 reward was like you either got to like the wear like the red Santa, like the green Santa, or the yellow Santa, or whatever. It's like, okay, I mean, that's not worth it. That's kind of boring. And it's, oh, if you don't like it, well, wait till, next season. Maybe it's a better reward. It's like, that's not how it should be, right? Like, there should be excitement. There should be anticipation for the next, battle pass. That's what the whole battle pass system, at least in my eyes, that's what makes the battle pass system fun, is because you get the battle pass, you work for it, you get to the max reward, and not only that, it should feel earned, but also, there's also excitement right before the next battle pass drops because, oh, I wonder what the next, reward's going to be. Whether that's the max reward or the rewards getting up to it. Like, there's excitement, there's anticipation. But in 2K, if they release a level 40 reward and it's not that great, the mindset is just like, okay, this is a mid-season, I guess. And it's more of like, okay, well, maybe 2K is able to have a better reward, next season. And there's no anticipation. It's more of just like, okay, well, let's see if 2K messes up. And sometimes they do. And that's not how it should be. So this is, I want to say, year 2 of 2K with the Battle Pass system. And so far, it's fine, right? Once again, I would say it's more of a negative review or a positive review. There's just no excitement when it comes to a new season, when it comes to 2K, right? It's more of, you didn't like the previous season match reward. All right, well, let's see what the next season is. And that's kind of it, right? There's no excitement. It's more of just, okay, that's a match reward. Well, at least it's better than the previous season. I don't know. Maybe I'm the wrong person to talk to because, I bought my way to level 40, I want to say, after season 3 or 4. I want to say season 4 was my last season getting level 40. After that, I didn't care. Season 5, season 6, season 7. I think we're in season 9 at this point. At that point, I didn't care about the level 40 reward. I didn't grind my way to it. I just stopped caring at that point because I saw the rewards. I'm just like, I feel like there's no incentive to get in that far. It's like, it's a cool reward, I guess, but I don't really want it. I don't see any use for it. So, Battle Pass, maybe they get away with it for good and just like, okay, it was an attempt, we get rid of it, or they revamp it. I just want some excitement for the Battle Pass. I want them to release a reward and just like, yes, this is a hype moment. This is a hype reward and everything. And then there's a tight expression. It's like, oh, they released a great reward last season. I wonder what the next season is going to be. There's going to be hype, excitement for it. And if 2K releases a back-to-back great reward, great. More people are playing the Battle Pass. More people will begin insight for 2K. 2K hit dubs for season level 40 reward for 2 times over. Let's see if they do trifecta, right? And let's say they have a mid to below average level 40 max reward for the third round. It's like, okay, well, this is a mid one, but hey, they got the benefit of the doubt the last 2 seasons. Maybe 4, they pick it back up. I don't know. That's just me rambling on. So let's see, what else on the wish list to talk about? This, I would say I'm giving a less than 2% chance of happening. This is one that I don't even... This is one where I was contemplating putting down the list. I'm like, is there even a point to putting this one down? Because I don't even know if this is possible. But this one... Oh shit, 2K stream. Dakota, it's kind of a 2K stream. It's technically a 2K stream, but it's more of just sharing my wish list, sharing my thoughts of 2K25, as you can see. Once again, let me know your thoughts if you agree or disagree with any of my stuff. But once again, this next one, I would give like a 1 or 2% chance of it happening. I was contemplating putting it down even on the list because like there's no way it's going to happen. And to me, I feel like they should revamp and change the whole badge system. Right. Like everything we know about badges, like, upgrading your player, getting the attributes, starting off at bronze, and then you play a certain way, play a certain play style, to upgrade them to silver, then to gold for the badges, then Hall of Fame, right? I feel like that entire system should be changed. And once again, I feel like that's not going to happen. That's going to be very, very, very unrealistic. But I'm like, you know what? This is the shoot for the fences. This is my home run take. I don't know if it's going to happen at all. But I'm willing to be bold for the last thing on my wish list. In my opinion, you make your player, you make your build, you upgrade the player. Once you upgrade your player to 85, because that's what everyone does, including me, after you upgrade into 85, you get the ability to upgrade the badges going from bronze, silver, and gold, right? You're able to use VC and buy not only the badge that you have unlocked through your attributes, but you're able to buy it to gold, right? Now, stick with me for a second, but you're able to buy the badge to gold and everything, but there is still an incentive to, working around with the badges and everything, and there's still a grind for it, because just like how we had the grand badge in 2K17, I want something very, very, very similar. So I'm trying, once again, this is something that I just have in my head, and I'm just trying to put it on paper to the camera so I can explain it the best way possible, because I'm still trying to work on my head of how I want it to work. So apologies about me rambling and making no sense. But I mean, if you've been here for an hour, chances are you don't really care, and shout out to you. So you're able to buy your way to gold, great. And then, once you get to gold, there's a badge you can unlock through skill that increases the tier. You can call it the platinum badge, the diamond badge, and not only that, but it's only one badge. So what I mean is, I'm not saying like have corner specialist on, platinum or diamond, or have Deadeye or catch and shoot in a Hall of Fame diamond, or have anchor and diamond. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, have the shooting badge on diamond, have the defensive badge on diamond. So you can basically rope it into groups, right? So like, let's just say for finishing, there's one for, like, I'm trying to think. Once again, I'm trying to think about how to phrase this. So when it comes to finishing, you have, let's just say, one grand diamond platinum match. I don't know what you call it. I just want to make it very, very clear that this is better than any of the gold badges. And it's like a group thing where you rope the finishing badge, and it like affects your driving layup, your close shot, your driving dunk, your standing dunk, right? It ropes all of those attributes together, and if you get the badge unlocked, it dramatically increases your attributes for that badge, right? Similar to how, the difference from like gold and Hall of Fame is. And then there's like another one where it could be like shooting, and that could be tied to like your mid-range shot, your three-point shot, and then there could be another one where it's like, post play. So you have like, the post hook, the post fade, post moves that can be grouped into, one category. For playmaking, you can rope into, all one category, like, pass accuracy, ball handle, speed with ball. That can all be looped into one. Defense, you have one where it's like the perimeter stuff. So like perimeter defense, steal, that can be its own group. But then there's another one where it's like interior defense, block, rebounding can also be roped into the interior. Basically what I want, you're able to buy your way to gold badges if the attributes work enough, right? Like what I mean is, I'm not saying you should be able to have gold badges on every single attribute and category in the game, right? Similar to how it is in, this 2K and previous 2Ks, where the bronze, silver, gold badge is tied to your attributes, and the more you go up, the higher badge level you get, right? Like if you're only able to have bronze, acrobat, then you should only be able to buy the bronze acrobat. You shouldn't be able to buy the gold acrobat. But on the flip side, it's the same thing with like, oh, I can have gold catch and shoot, I can have gold deadeye, I can have gold posterizer, right? That's how it should be. And then if you really want to, have the best loadout possible, the best setup possible, and have the best badges possible, give you the best chance to win, you get the access to the diamond platinum badge I was saying earlier, and it's grouped in categories that affects your shooting, your playmaking, your interior defense, your perimeter defense, your finishing, your post moves, right? It's all in groups. And these should not be easy to get. They should not be easy, right? It should be, in order to unlock these, you have to do certain stuff for each of the attributes in the category. And it should be something where it's like you have to do this stuff in like my career. You have to do X amount of stuff in park. You have to do X amount of stuff in rec. You have to do X amount of stuff in prom. Like it should be a grind. It should be very difficult for you to get these, because the benefit of getting it is very rewarding and it's very amazing if you do unlock it. There should be an incentive to unlocking that, but it should not be easy, right? But if you still want to have, a gold badge, that should still be usable. That should still be good and everything. The gold badge should not be useless. You should still be able to win with that. I'm just saying, give people incentive to try out all these different modes and give people an incentive to do the badge grind. Because let's face it, there is no incentive. People just hop on, make the new build, get them to 85, and they just rinse and repeat the same thing. Go from, okay, we got to do this enough. Okay, we got enough, attribute points. We got enough badge points to get to bronze. All right, now we got to do the same thing all over again, restart, and do the same thing for silver, and then do the same thing for gold, right? Like, 2K kind of did the light version in 2K24, where they said, oh, it, plays off your play style, where, if you do a lot of, shooting in the corner from catch and shoot, then your catch and shoot and corner specialist badges, go up on the badge tier. But, like, your, Agent 3, which is, shooting, fading threes, that's not going to go up at all, right? This is the, steroided version of that, to me. I feel like that's the best way to put it. Maybe y'all agree with it. Maybe y'all disagree with it. I don't know. That's just something that I'm giving a very, very, very low percent. Once again, I'm saying like a 1% to 2% chance. I don't think 2K is that bold into doing something like that. But if 2K did that, I would say, A, that is bold for you to do that, number one. And two, to me, if they did it and it was balanced properly, which that's another problem with 2K. If it's balanced and equal on an equal playing field where it's not so overbroken, so overpowered, so meta where people just find, an exploit and they just, spam it. Right? If it's tuned properly, just maybe, this crazy idea can save 2K. Can make people excited about the 2K games. Can make you want to hop on 2K games and grind for your player, grind for badness. Because right now, it's monotonous, it's tedious, it's boring to do it. So if maybe 2K add this, maybe it's fun. But that's just a thought. It's an idea, and I don't know how realistic it is. Once again, I'm getting a 1-2% chance of it happening. But it's an interesting thought.